Good morning, lovelies. It's the Not Quite Enough Distance vlog. It's Sunday. The heat has gone. The weather has cooled a little. So it's time to do something useful and constructive. So I'm back on Operation Office Tidy Up. Kinda. One thing I did is move this shelf unit, which used to be inside the bureau. I've moved it to above it, so I still have use of it, but I have space for my laptop. I like to use a big keyboard, so that then means the laptop needs to be further back. So I did that to sort that space out a bit. Still the cable management problem, but once I know this is permanent, I'll put some holes in here to put the cables through and tidy that all up. So I'm going to do some tidying up for a little while. I'm going to set my phone for about half an hour and do that. Hello, lovelies. I was on Operation Desk Office Room Tidy Up. Then I got distracted by a new toy. When I got my whirly knitting machine, someone said, "Oh, you'll get an Addy king size." And I said, "No, I won't. I don't need it." When was this ever about need? So I will go into whys and wherefores. Probably whys are the most important on the monthly podcast. But I have got the Addy king size now, which is a little bigger than my existing whirly machine. Sorry, circular knitting machine. But it is a whirly machine, isn't it? So I've tried out a hat, and the hats come out a slightly better size. The other ones that I made on the 40 needle machine, I can get them up to my size, but I tended to kind of block them and stretch them a little bit on one of my polystyrene heads and then move it up to the bigger one, whereas this is a better fit straight away. And my head for buying making hats, I normally go for the men's size rather than the ladies' size, so I can make them on both and they'll hopefully fit a range of people. The other thing that I realised I could use the circular machines for are twiddle muffs. So here's just a tube I made. I will put buttons and bits of fabric and all sorts of things on there. For those who have no idea what I'm talking about, twiddle muffs are tactile textural pieces, and they've been found to be useful for people with dementia and Alzheimer's. They've been found to be quite calming because it gives these lovely folks something to do with their hands, and it's very calming for them. So yes, here is a tube. I will attach bits to it and then fold one side inside the other, a bit like I do with the hats, but obviously not cinching it in at the end like a hat, and we will have a twiddle muff for someone who will hopefully feel the benefit of it. And I'll use up bits from the button stash as well, so that's a useful thing. This is some Red Heart Super Saver. This is left over from the cowl I made last time. The rest are bits of 4-ply fingering weight oddments that have been kind of bits of waste yarn on my knitting machine and just odd bits and pieces. Slightly different gauges coming out, as you can see, according to the yarn fibre and thickness. But for this kind of exercise, it just adds to the interest. So there will be lots of charity knitting in my whirly future. That's my justification, I'm sticking to it. Actually, it's because I want to make a pattern, which is the Pixum by Jimenez Joseph. It could end up being the most expensive sweater I've ever made, as I've bought a machine to do it with. But the machine will get use. Both machines will, the bigger and the smaller. Honest. Just justifying it to myself now. And now, here's some video, including shots of my finger. Also, some flowers and the dog. Hello lovelies, it's Friday morning. It is blowing a hoolie out there. I know you only come here for the weather. We've gone from the extremely warm weather to the let's have high winds. Now again, I'm talking from a British perspective. I appreciate that some of you have been experiencing tornadoes and damage, fires. You know, everything about the weather is kind of muted here in comparison with other parts of the world, but it's blowing a hoolie. Hope you're all keeping safe. I know some parts of the world are really going through tough times, and my heart goes out to you. So keep safe, keep well, keep going. Yeah, so it's Friday. It's been a sort of work week. Himself was meant to be away all week, but sadly, nephew, he failed to make the cut for the golf tournament he was taking part of, and he was like, missed it by one shot type of failed to make the cut, was the next person on the list. You know, where the cut is, he was directly underneath it, so that's a tad frustrating, but that's the game, and the trick isn't, the trick is to kind of come back from that, isn't it? So hopefully you will. Nephew is in another competition next week. Hubby was meant to be going, that's in Dorset, and he was meant to be going to watch, but the rules are tightening up in terms of spectators, and they're only saying one representative per player, and I'm not sure if it's brother-in-law or sister-in-law who's going with nephew, so it means himself isn't able to go, so he'll be here next week. It does mean he'll be playing golf next week, because a friend rang yesterday and said, you fancy playing on Friday? So he'll be doing that. But yeah, plans have changed, but we're lucky that we can be flexible. It doesn't cause us major problems. So I've been playing on my new toy. I'm such a child. And actually the hat I made, himself tried on, and it would stretch comfortably around his head. And he has a big head, so he's very happy. I'm going to make him a hat. I've also been trying some flat panels. I said I wanted to make the Pixum by Jimenez Joseph, and I put some yarn together, and I do mean put some yarn together. Have I got any here? I have a lot of these cones of very fine yarn. Don't know if that will even show how fine it is. This is viscose. It's quite a soft yarn. I don't know if you can see in there. There we go. Texair Yarns was a mill that the business failed a few years ago, and I picked up a lot of their cones. And of course I have a spinning wheel, so I can ply them together. I've been plying them with some... Where's the ball bag gone? Some of the dog's paw earlier. I don't know, but it's a wool baby yarn, fairy tale baby yarn, and also some lace weight yarn. So my hope is to have some of this 4-ply baby yarn, 3 strands of the viscose and a strand of the lace weight, and the lace weight will add a bit of colour. Now I've just done one as a sample, and I had some acrylic lace weight. I think I was given it out with a magazine, and I've done a bit of a test with it. So very pale colour because it's a pale pink, but I have some stronger lace weight, stronger coloured lace weight yarn. I've got some Lamington Lass in here, and I can't remember what the other one is. So the hope is to have just a, is it wrong to say a pop of dark colour? There'll be a kind of low light running through it, so it'll be predominantly light coloured, but where there is some pink running through this, there'll be that darker, stronger colour. Working flat panels on the machine is something that most people seem to struggle with, and I am no exception. It can drop stitches beautifully. The other side I did pretty well on. I know this is only a short sample, but yeah, I've got a reasonable edge on that, but not on both sides. So that's something I need to practice. I'm going to carry on practicing with that yarn I put together, and once I feel confident that that's as it should be in terms of consistency, then I will mix the other yarns together, so ply them all together on the spinning wheel and hopefully make my sweater. So that's a bit of a crafting plan. Toys! So that is something I'll be working on, so next week you'll hopefully see some of this, and at the month end podcast, which I'll be doing at the end of next week. Gosh, that's a terrifying thought, isn't it? So what does next week hold? Work, himself being here, more work, playing with crafting toys. Pretty much normal stuff. Hope you're all okay. I hope you have a good week, whatever you've got planned. We're still in this huge state of flux, aren't we? That who knows what's going on. And the information is changing rapidly as well. So in the UK we're having some localised lockdowns. If the coronavirus rate goes up suddenly in one area, they clamp down on movement. There are changes for which countries you need to quarantine from or in. A friend of mine's just gone abroad and has just about timed it well that she won't have to quarantine when she's there. She's going to visit family, so it wouldn't be the end of the world because she will be with her family. But life is better if you are not restricted, as we know. So yes, that's what this week holds and what life holds at the moment. It's still very odd. And it's still, a lot of people at the moment seem to be feeling a little flat, little low. There is that sense, I feel, that we don't know how long this is going on for. When we first went into lockdown, it was a bit of a problem, but we thought it would be over by the end of the summer, whereas end of the summer's coming now. Obviously winter if you're in the southern hemisphere. And there's a sense of we don't know how long things are going to be odd for. And will they ever be, again, what they were before? We do not know. But at the moment, we're still here. So I hope you're all well. Hope you're all keeping safe. Hope you and your loved ones are all well. And that life is okay. This is a time of new opportunities as well as new living conditions. So we have a chance to rethink, which is usually quite useful. So take care everyone, have a good week. I will see you next Friday for the vlog and then next weekend for the monthly podcast. But keep well, keep safe, look after yourselves. Happy crafting. Don't buy all the toys. This is not a way to buy yourself happiness, but it's fun. Take care everyone. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.